What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today it is time to drift my E36 yet again. Now, it has been such a long time since I've driven this E36. I've mainly been drifting my S13. A little backstory in this car. This is one of my first drift cars. It taught me pretty much everything I know. So today we're bringing it out of storage. We're gonna go out to a little small go-kart track and we're gonna drift out there. Andy's right behind me as well in his E36. So ours are pretty much identical. We're gonna try to do a lot of tandeming in today. It should be so much fun. Stay tuned. Well, we're not off to a good start out here. So I ended up pulling the E36 out of the trailer and ended up ripping out one of the fuel lines on where the trailer folds down because the truck is a little bit sunken in up front. So it made the trailer really steep. Andy's cars here is doing good, but we ended up just going to LKQ and picking up another fuel pressure regulator thing that goes underneath the car. This little guy right here. So hopefully we can throw this in really quick and get back on track. Didn't even turn a lap, broke getting off the trailer, but just kind of part of it. Well, after a couple hours, we got the E36 fixed. The part from the salvage yard worked. So I went out, did a few practices. Now me and Andy are actually gonna go out and do some tandem runs. They keep flipping the track forward and backwards. I think I like it better, more forward. I'm running about 50 PSI in the E36 because the track's super slow and I'm in second gear and this car doesn't have much power. So we just got back from a few tandem laps. The car's actually getting a little bit warm. Come to find out, my 12 volts I was tapping in for this relay for the fan wasn't actually putting out 12 volts. So we just went ahead and put the little trigger from the relay directly to the battery. So now the fan's always on. She's cooling off and we're about ready to go back out. Well, Andy and I got into a little bit of a bump. He was struggling with his car because he's running a bigger tire after we changed him. So he's gonna put the small ones back on. He flicked it on the entry. You could barely see it on the camera, but let me show you all the damages. It always seems like his car doesn't take any damage and mine always gets destroyed. So this little damage I got from our little collision, honestly it's not too bad. It's mainly just the bumper and the corner light. I'll get a new eBay bumper. It just kind of happens. Luckily it stayed out of the wheel and the fender, so we should be good to go on that. The only thing that happened to Andy, which is not my surprise, is his wheel got a little bit scraped. I don't think any arms are bent under there, which is good. Along with he got a little bit of a scratch on his bumper right here. So this thing's staying pretty pristine. May I remind you that my big old dent in my quarter panel only caused his trunk to shift like 1/8 of an inch. He hit me, or we hit right here, and this thing is just a tank. I don't know what it is, but he's getting lucky. I think we're about to go out and do some more runs. Oh, yeah, I think you were losing air and then it finally gave up. We were getting it though. We were doing good. I was doing a few laps with the bumper hanging out. Dude, this thing's doing fantastic though. I can't be mad at her. Oh, God, all day. So we got about 30 minutes left at the event. So the biggest issue we're running into today is actually de-lambing these tires. It's about 100 degrees out here, and we have de-lam tires on de-lam tires on de-lam tires, just scattered throughout. And then Andy de-lammed one and got a little D-bead going. But overall, for the money, we really can't complain. These cars are such a blast. We're over here just getting pretty close to each other, crossing our fingers and nothing happens again. So we got about 30 minutes. We're gonna throw fresh tires on his car and we're gonna go back out. Unfortunately, my GoPro died, so I'm gonna see you guys at the end. A few days later, we got the E36 back in the shop. Now, overall, the event went really well. I had so much fun in the E36 with Andy. Let's go ahead and backtrace through the issues I had with the car throughout the day. So first off, pulling out of the trailer, I actually ripped out one of the fuel lines underneath the car. I had to go to the LKQ and grab the part and fix that right up. Second, I had the fan, the relay, the trigger from the relay was tapped into one of the sensors, and that ended up not giving us 12 volts exactly. So we went ahead and tapped it into the battery that sits right here. And the fan was always on whenever it's plugged in. So what I ended up doing with that was just pulling out the fuse whenever I would come into the pits and turn the car off. I'd just pull the fuse out as well. I'll go ahead and rewire it one day to make it a little bit better. And then lastly, me and Andy ended up bumping just a touch and got a little damage right here. It bent this little grill piece. It scratched the corner light. Ended up punching a hole in this eBay bumper, but I'm not too worried about it. I'm gonna go ahead and probably repair it for now, and I'll get a fresh one of these days. These bumpers are like $100 on eBay. They're pretty cheap and pretty good for the money. Other than that, the car performed perfectly, had so much fun. Me and Andy like driving our E36s together. They look pretty much identical, which is really cool. Now, I have a couple thoughts with driving such a small track, because that track is second gear barely. I had to run about 55 PSI in the tires on this car to make them even spin. So my first thought is that it's fun, especially if you're just getting into drifting and starting out with low horsepower. Really small tracks like that are really good, but also I've been getting into some more tandem competition stuff with my S13. So small tracks like that aren't going to make me much better at these bigger tracks, but I think it gets people comfortable with kind of the proximity and drifting and the tandems, which is super cool. But I honestly just love this car. It's treated me so well. I need to do a full refresh on it one of these days, but she still works. Several events down the line, this beauty still runs. Alrighty guys, that is going to do it for this video. Don't forget, go hit that thumbs up and subscribe right now. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next video.